Before we begin this video, I would like to correct some important mistakes I made in the previous one. Let's have a look at these ways of extending the redstone signal. As shown here, the first on the right of the screen is the fastest, unlike the first on the left, which was mentioned. Here are the steps for building one. With that out of the way, let's begin part 2 of this guide. In today's video, I will show you some of the most common parts used in redstone farms. First, we will look at the item distributor. It allows an equal number of items to be sent to the component to which it is attached. It can be used to feed material into a super smelter or injector in mass quantity. Here are the steps to building it. You can slow down the footage to build along. First, let's place the storage. Next, we need to determine where the line ends. There, place a comparator like this. Then we put the hopper into this comparator and the others in front of it. After that, place the hopper under the first row, except the one with storage above. Finally, use a reversed power line to connect them to the comparator and lock the beneath hopper. Make sure to set the main repeater here for at least 2 ticks. Doing this will allow all the items to be distributed into the lower compartment. Second, this is the item sorter. It can be used to collect products. Due to the server's engine, it's very likely that these item sorters are very unstable, with the chance of system failure. However, I find these two designs to be extremely resilient and, in some ways, reliable. It's recommended that the system be built before configuring. Load the system with 20 cheap renamed items to sort 64 stack item. Load the system with 14 cheap renamed items to sort 16 stack item, such as ender pear. It's very important for you to fill a stack of your desired item into the first slot to self-debug the transfer rate and prevent system breakdown as mentioned when the item is under the minimum transfer rate. I will go deeper on the item sorter in storage and item silo video later. Third, say hi to the harvester. It's used in collecting some types of crops. This version uses a flying machine to move the arm back and forth between stations. Here, I will show you how to set it up. First, we build the flying machine. Make sure that the observers are facing up. Next, we build the stations. It's crucial that the block here is obsidian so that the flying machine can't move the station. The iron trapdoor can be replaced with wooden one. Then set the repeater to 2 ticks. Make sure that the other station is in line with the other observer of the flying machine. I have demonstrated it with this blue and red line. At the station that you want to have control over, just power it like this. Finally, To activate the machine, you just need to place a block on one of the observers. I personally suggest a piece of redstone dust or a torch. Note that a piston can only push 12 blocks at a time, so make sure the attachments are within the limit. Here is an example of how to extend it. It's recommended that, at the end of each arm, you place a block other than a slime block so the contraption can work smoothly. In this case, a polished granite block. There is also a static harvester variant, known as piston-pushed harvester. Based on the material you want to farm, use one of these harvester designs for the highest performance. Finally, here is the collector. It can be a series of waterways or a railroad network. At the end, they usually come with a hopper or item sorter to collect the product for actual storage. Waterways usually have ice as a base material to improve item moving speed. It is recommended to use packed ice or above to prevent the block from melting when exposed to a heat source. Some farms will benefit from one of these types of collectors. So, choose one that works best with the farm. That would be the end of the basic component guide. In the following video, I'll get started on the farm itself.